Hello guys, today we are going to learn about diodes. What is a diode? A diode is an electronic component which has the ability to resist the flow of electrons and also used as a switching device in many electronic circuits. Now let me show you that what are the types of diodes. There are several types of diodes, of which few of them are being shown here. These are few of the diodes which are commonly used in various circuits, namely PN junction diode, which has a P junction and an N junction. All these diodes are being made up of this basic component P type and N type materials only. But the thing is, the Zener diode is operated for different purpose, and LED is used for some other lighting purpose, and Schottky diode, tunnel diode, photodiode, Bragg diode, all these diodes are being used for several other purposes. So all these diodes which other than PN junction diode are being called as special purpose diodes. Now this PN junction diode is actually looks like this, and it has a P and an N. This is an anode and this is a cathode. Anode is said to be positive, cathode is said to be negative. The P type is said to be positive, the N type is said to be negative. And it is obvious that N type material and P type material are made up of electron efficient and electron deficient materials, such that they form electronegativity and electropositivity when getting accumulated in the diode. You can see this diagram, which shows the P type and N type and the depletion region between those. This depletion region is caused due to the interrelation between the P type and the N type. This recombination reaction, which goes inside this border, produces a kind of non-ionized region which acts as an insulator or a dielectric. And now when you see this kind of diagrams, you get the doubt that how it looks originally. The original diode looks somewhat like this. This strip, this white strip over here is actually indicating the line in this diode. And now a simple circuit with a resistor and a diode. Now when does this diode gets into forward bias, and when does that circuit becomes or the diode goes into reverse bias? We know that there is a barrier between P and N junction as shown above. This depletion region is actually called or is actually having a form of voltage difference. This voltage difference is called as Vd, and the Vs is the voltage supply induced into the circuit. Now in an ideal diode, the voltage Vd will be equal to 0. Ideal cases, you will be having V D equal to 0, and hence whatever the voltage is being applied at Vs is received at the resistor R or the load R. When there is a practical diode, it has a depletion region, and as it has a depletion region, it has a depletion voltage, and it has a depletion voltage, it has to be overcome by the Vs. So in case of silicon, the Vd is equal to zero point 0.7 and Vs is the applied voltage. Whenever the supply voltage is greater than the voltage for the depletion layer, then the diodes get forward biased. That is, whenever the Vs is greater than Vd, forward bias condition is seen, and whenever there is a Vs less than Vd, reverse bias condition is seen in the diode. Now this is the forward bias characteristics of a diode, or known as output characteristics of a diode, which is between voltage and current. Voltage is in volts, and current is measured in milliamperes, because the current produced or the voltage and the current relation is so less in the diodes, and that's why they are known as low power components. This is the Vd is equal to zero point 0.7 volts, and whenever there is an ideal and practical case correlation, there will be a diagram called as exponential diagram. This exponential curve towards the upper side is actually for silicon diode. Most of the PN junction diode used are silicon. Germanium is used in special cases, but the germanium's voltage is about uh, 0.3, and this 0.7 voltage is being used for silicon diodes only. Whenever there is a voltage, supply voltage greater than the depletion voltage, there is a increase in the amount of current flowing through the diode, hence known as forward bias or closed circuit. Now let us see some of the applications of the diode. The diode applications are rectifier, switch diodes, switching circuits used in solar cells, and these diodes are used for a conversion of AC to DC, and used in bridge rectifiers, used in types of filter circuits. They are used in switching circuits, they are used in mixing circuits. RF and RF signals and the low baseband signals are both mixed in a mixer, also using these kind of diodes. Diodes are useful in each and every circuits. These diodes are only used in logic circuits too, but the logic circuits are made up of high relay chips, and so they are called as chip level or the combinational circuits. But actually these diodes are the basic to learn digital circuits. The diode, whenever it passes Vd is greater than Vs is greater than Vd, there is forward bias, which means 1, and whenever Vs is less than Vd, then it is 0. Thank you.